Here's everything we should know about the iPhone 16 lineup. The first and foremost thing, 4 models, 16, 16 Plus, 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max, just like last year's models. But this year, the 16 Pro and Pro Max will actually be bigger than the last year's models. For example, the 16 Pro will have a 6.27-inch screen, which is going to be called 6.3-inch, while the 16 Pro Max will have a 6.86-inch display, which is 6.9 inches. Whereas the 16 and 16 Plus will come with the same screen size as the 15 Pro and 15 Pro Max. It's 6.1 inches and 6.7 inches respectively. Now this whole pill-shaped camera housing design is not so new but also kind of new because it's a mix and match between the iPhone 11's design and iPhone 15 Plus's design. Also, you can add iPhone 10 to the mix. Now this is mostly done for the base model to have the spatial video recording capabilities. Next, the big change, the batteries. For the Plus model, it's going down in size. It's about 9% reduction in capacity, which is kind of disappointing. But for other models, it's actually getting up. For example, the standard model is getting about 6% battery jump from 3,349 to 3,561. But the Pro Max will go up by 5%, 4,422 mAh to 4,676 mAh. Pretty large battery. So you can definitely expect much bigger battery life, but that's on paper. Now you might be thinking the phone sizes are getting bigger, that's why the bigger batteries. Not exactly though. The iPhone 16 lineup might come with a stainless steel battery case to help Apple reduce the difficulty of removing the iPhone batteries. And the second thing they're using is called stacked batteries. One, it's much more energy dense, so that's why it's bigger capacity. And the second thing is prolonged lifespan across the lineup. So the battery will have a much better health even after 2 years of usage. And on top of that, it might even allow Apple to use much more faster charging capabilities. The next big change, capture button. This is a totally different button that no other companies are doing it, at least as of now, except Sony, I guess. But it's still a different button, also a presser and touch sensitive. That means you can do zoom in or out by swiping left or right onto the button. Also, you can focus on a subject with a light press and start the recording or capturing the photos with a forceful press. Other than that, the iPhone 16 models, the standard ones, will also get the action button right from the Pro Max of the last model. The next is ultra-wide-angle lens upgrade, but that's for only the Pro and the Pro Max. The iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max will feature a 48-megapixel ultra-wide-angle camera lens, which should allow it to capture more light, but also it might even allow it to have Pro RAW photos in ultra-wide mode, so that's cool. And then you have the ultra-detailed photos from the ultra-wide-angle cameras. Now, in case if you don't know, the Apple's current iPhone Pro Max with a 5x periscope zoom camera can only do zoom up to 5x, and that is equivalent to 77mm lenses. But there is a rumor that Apple will provide a super telephoto periscope camera for the iPhone 16 Pro Max, while the standard Pro will get the 5x periscope zoom camera from the current Pro Max. Now the super telephoto camera or the ultra telephoto camera, whichever name it's gonna have, it will be close to 300mm. It's crazy to think about because if they do it, then it's gonna be a massively capable zooming lens. Otherwise, it's just gonna be a digital zoom, which is gonna be equivalent to 300mm. Apple's new iPhone Pro models will get the Wi-Fi 7 standard that enables data transfer over 2.4 GHz, 5 GHz and 6 GHz bands simultaneously. This is incredible. It's also much more efficient compared to Wi-Fi 6E. Also, the data transfer speed is literally over 40 gigabits per second. That's 4 times over the Wi-Fi 6E inside the last year's model. But the A18 chipset is going to be called A18 Pro inside the Pro models. It's based on TSMC's 3nm processor node, and all the iPhone 16 models will have the A18 branded chipset. Even though the Pro chipset and the standard chipset will still have quite a lot of differences, but because all of them will come with Apple Intelligence, so definitely you can expect 8GB of RAM on all of them, even though next year it will be 12GB for the Pro models, but that's a different thing. Also, this year, Apple is also bringing a newer, more efficient and much more brighter OLED panel in the form of Samsung's M14 OLED panels compared to M13. It's much more better in terms of brightness, efficiency, as well as lifespan. Maybe it will be 2600 nits or maybe 3000 nits, but we will have to wait and see. Now, we are hearing that because of this newer battery technology, Apple might allow iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max to support up to 40-watt wired charging. Plus, it will get 20-watt MagSafe charging. This is big thing. Now, other than that, there are going to be many other changes, like there are going to be upgraded microphones for better Apple intelligence, like Siri is getting that insane experience, so why not? And it will also have a newer thermal system inside. It's called graphene thermal system for the iPhone 16 lineup, because the chipset is going to be more powerful than ever. And storage wise, it's going to be very similar to what the current model offers, with 8 GB of RAM, as I said, for all of them. Other than that, there is also going to be more thinner bezels, that's I forgot to mention, but for only the Pro and Pro Max. And the standard models will get the panels from the last year's model, which means they will also get thinner bezels compared to the 15 and 15 Plus, but not as thin as the 16 Pro and Pro Max. The titanium is still going to be the same one, but it will be polished one. This time it will be more glossier than it was last time, and definitely the color options are different this time. But the 16 and 16 Plus is going to come in black, green, pink, blue, and white. Let me know about your thoughts in the comment section below. What do you think about these devices? And yes, if you want, you can get some crazy cool wallpapers up on my website. A link down below. Until the next one, bye and take care.